Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 4 of Passover 2020. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th, or 13 Nisan. That's the Hebrew date, which the day would have actually have begun at 6 p.m. Last night. And if anyone looks on a calendar today that marks the Passover, you will see that it appears on April 8th this year, 2020. Further investigation would show that it actually begins at sundown, which in this journey we are arbitrarily calling 6 p.m. It would begin at sundown on April the 8th and would continue until sundown on April the 9th, which is the Jewish day 14 Nisan. Keep in mind that on 14 Nisan, which is not yet upon us, at twilight, before the sun went down and before the next day, 15 Nisan would begin, was when the Passover lamb was supposed to be slain according to Exodus 12:6. So on this particular day, Wednesday, April 8th, 13 Nisan, the disciples asked Jesus where he wanted them to make preparation for the Passover. And Jesus instructed them to go into Jerusalem, seek a certain man whose house, actually the upper room portion thereof, they would use to celebrate the Passover. Mark gives us some added details. He said that the man that they were to find would be carrying a jar of water, a task that was typically done by women. So it would sort of stand out. And they were to ask the owner of the house into which this man entered about using the large upper room for the master and the celebration of the Passover. They did as they were told, and Jesus undoubtedly came into the city himself as well. As we have already noted, according to Luke's gospel, he would have taught the people in the temple every day and then go back out to Bethany in the evening. And so thus the lamb would have been inspected for the third day. It should also be noted that as the gospel writers record the specific teachings of Jesus during these few days known as Passion Week, they were not all prompted to write out a specific timeline. Also, as is the case with the Gospels, apart from Passion Week, the Gospels complement each other rather than repeat each other. And so it is with the Passion Week as well. They don't all record the same events and in exactly the same order. So to be a full gospel believer, one must read all 4 gospels. And I would recommend to everyone a harmony of the gospels or a rendition of the synoptic gospels because either one of them will prove quite helpful in this endeavor. Now, as I close, just a reminder. By the time I post anything regarding Thursday, April 9th or 14 Nisan, we will already have been several hours into that day, since it will begin at 6 p.m. or sundown tonight. So this evening would be a good and a proper time to remember that it was the time that the Lord celebrated the Passover meal with his disciples, which has been passed on to us as communion or the Lord's Supper. And so tonight, my wife and I, after sundown, will be celebrating communion. And I would recommend that each one of you do the same, all the while reading Paul's words in 1 Corinthians 11:17 through 32. Sameach Pesach. Happy Passover, and God bless you.